I just came back from the post office. Got a package from the Polish Hotdog, formerly Steve O, and I can't remember the other name that he used, but anyways, well, you can't use a snowblower, and you cannot shovel this unless I had dropped dead of a heart attack. So this is the norm. If I was rich, I would own a small plow, because if I was able to plow this driveway out, I would not have this problem. But anyway, that's beside the point. I just pulled this box out of the back of the car. So let's take a walk on the wild side. I couldn't even shovel my way. I couldn't, because every shovel I had to lift, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't push it. It's too heavy. So I just got my boots on, and I just kept walking on it. Sorry about the shaky video, but I thought you might like to see this. I managed to clean the deck off early this morning and made sure that the bird feeder is filled, and I got this cleared out because this don't get as bad as the driveway. But I didn't do this. Right now it rained and the temperature's up, so it's not really that bad. Got about 6 inches total, but that was overnight, and it's melting pretty good right now. But anyways, I think you're probably wondering, just like I am, as to what's in this box that Steve sent me. Good morning. How you doing? I won't need this quite yet. I did use it yesterday morning. First time this year. I got a package from one of my viewers. I haven't heard from him in quite a while, and he gave me a phone call the other day, several days ago, and he wanted to send me something. He knows that I don't like to receive things unless I ask for them, but he said, never mind, that's an early birthday present, whatever, so I'm not going to give him a hard time about it, but I appreciate it. I have no idea what it is. He didn't tell me what it is. It's Steve O, who goes by the name of Polish Hotdog now, and let's get it open. Guess I gotta go get a razor blade here on the other side of the shop, of course, so hang on a minute. Alright, let me get my reading spectacles on here. Okay, I'm going to read you what he wrote here. Bill, please accept this little gift I sent. I thought it might help with your vision. Difficulties Now I know you do not really like being sent anything without your permission or notification, but I forgot. So here it is, and I hope it's helpful. Besides, if you don't like it, if you can always burn ants with it. No ants around here at this time of the year, Steve. Please don't concern yourself with postage and such because it was a gift. Well, keep on tinkering, you goat. Well, thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate this. All right, so let's... Looks like a nice magnifier. Well, that's very nice of you, Steve. Thank you. Let's see if I can... oh, good. I still got the razor blade here. Let's see if I can open this. Got a nice microfiber cloth for cleaning. All right, let's try it. All right, you got to obviously put batteries in it, but it's a lighted magnifier, and it does a very good job. It doesn't say what the there's nothing on it about the magnification, but it appears to be very good. Just about as good as this little one I use, which I still will use get into tight places. But thank you, Steve. Okay, we've got to put in, looks like either double A's or triple A's, it does not say. Well, let's see. It's getting cold in here, I'm going to have to get the heater on. Double A's. All right, let's see if I got a couple of double A's here. Well, let's go in here. This is well, I don't have two sunbeams, so let's do two energizers. Let's do a couple of energizers here. That should be good. Try to keep the brands the same if we can. Good. Oh yeah. This is nice. Thank you, Steve. That's really nice of you to do this. Compared to this is my medium glass. Oh yeah, quite a difference. This one's a lot better. Well, thank you very much, Steve. We're going to definitely use that. Let me just put it in here for now. That'll help with the old goat's vision. Got to remember to use it. A lot of times I'll go ahead and do something and I'll just grab the first thing on the bench. But got to remember to use it there, goat. Thank you. Thank you very much, Steve. Let me just get some of this off the bench here. I won't yell at you for sending me something without my permission. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So, I'll just put this down here. A little awkward. I put the Mr. Heater down here near the door. And of course I'm not able to go around the back of the camera to see if I'm all in frame here. So I may not be. And I may be a little off. But I'm off anyway. So I'm gonna hold off on the comedy. I don't want to complain, but I got another bad comment about comedy, and you know, apparently some people don't like it. That's the second one I've got on that, and I'm not planning on doing anything right away anyways, but you know, I'm going to hold off on that. You know, between that and other viewers mentioning that, you know, you don't like the weather, we'll move, and this and that. Well, you know, when I look back, and yeah, it don't do any good to complain, I know, and it just gets, a lot of people are getting down with this crap, and I shouldn't be. And I know I went through this before. My videos are not too good lately, and I'll admit that, you know, but I'm going to knock off the comedy for now. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but I'm not going to be doing anything in the near future. There are a lot of people that do like the comedy, and I appreciate that, but you can't please everybody. I know that. It's my channel. I know that. Do what I want. I've been told that a number of times. I understand that. But it makes me feel good that if people like something, you know, and all it takes is 3 or 4 that don't like it, and that's only the ones that comment. I'm not even talking about the ones that are not commenting, you know. So, that's just the way it is, you know. And I don't have, like I say, I don't have a lot to offer, and I think, you know, I should really knock off making videos other than something like this. When somebody's really nice and sending something like this, I appreciate that very much, you know. And I'm kind of hesitant about doing this because I get the trolls that come in, and especially that one troll, and coming in and saying I'm looking for stuff for nothing and everything, and that really gets me more than anything else. And I, you know, really get aggravated for something I'm not doing purposely. You know, I got kind, nice viewers out there that enjoy my videos and want to do things for me, and I do appreciate that. But, you know, I try not to be too thin-skinned, but I do tell it like it is. So, you know, that's just me, and, you know, but I don't want to go on and on and on about it. But giving up on Jewett City, it's just going to be too cold. I mean, you know, it's ridiculously cold now. So I'm afraid Jewett City Flea Market is out this year. So if you're wondering or asking about it, well, you may live in a warmer climate, but not everybody does. So, you know, the flea markets, outdoor flea markets, are just not around anymore. And whatever hardy souls are out there trying to sell stuff, there's going to be very, very few. And it isn't worth the drive out there for 1 or 2 outside vendors. And inside the building, there's the same stuff all the time, with 3/4 of the vendors not there, you know. So, and their prices are not reasonable. So all the deals are outside, and I've gotten a lot of things, as I showed you on video. So primarily what I'm going to be doing here is if there's anything on electronics, because I did get a lot of nice comments about the electronic videos, that makes me feel good. So if I got anything that I'm going to be doing on a bench here in the way of electronics, I will be doing that and making videos of it. The flapping videos are getting kind of repetitious on the subject matter. Feels good with that Mr. Heater. Let me turn that down to medium now. It got real cold last night here. And there's about 2 inches of snow an hour last night. And it started, I guess about 5, 6 o'clock, somewhere in that area last night. And I was inside, you know, watching Dragnet on YouTube. Been watching a lot of those lately. The older ones and the ones Dragnet 1970 and, you know, 1968, all those air dates. Those were good shows, and there's a lot of them I have not seen. I watch a lot of that when there's nothing else, and I check and try to answer comments as much as I can on the newest video and maybe one video before that. So I try to keep up with the comments, and if I don't have an answer for somebody, I will read the comment and may not always respond. But as far as the comedy is concerned, at this time, I'm not giving it up, but I'm going to cool it for quite a while here. And you know, when I look back on it and I see the way I'm doing it, I don't like it. So that's all I'm going to talk about on that. I won't stop doing it, but at this time I will, but I'm not going to give it up. A lot of work went into building Uncle Dorkle, and the last comic, the skit I made, one individual did not like it. I will not watch it. No, his comment did not get approved, but I'm not going to mention the name. But he did like what Tommy does, so because of that I didn't, you know, I just, you know, but he didn't want, he didn't like Hackbar, he didn't like all this stuff, you know, and I will not watch it, and, you know, all it takes is 3 or 4 of those types of comments to make you think, why the hell am I doing it, you know? So let's cool it for now, folks. I know you know, some of you like it, but, you know, we're going to cool it for now. Maybe we'll pick it up in spring. Oh, I forgot, there's no spring. It's summer. Okay. Next summer, I might pick it up again. There's no more yard sales because it's winter now, obviously. So, but if I have something to offer, yes, I do. And I'll watch videos and throw my 5 cents worth in, which I don't have a lot to offer in help for anybody in electronics. Anyways, but for what it's worth, I'll throw my 2.5 to maybe a nickel's worth of comment in there, you know, and I'll be active and stuff, and, you know, if I have something that's going to be interesting, I think it's interesting for you all, I'll make them videos. But I want to thank, you know, people like Steve O, or the Polish Hotdog, for sending me this. Steve and I go back quite a while with things, and the last item I believe he sent me quite a few things in the years past, was the Hallicrafters S86 was sent to me total Total surprise. And, you know, I appreciate that, but that took me by surprise, and I insisted on paying him for it, and he didn't want to take any money, but I insisted on paying the postage, which was substantial on an item that big. So, Steve, you don't want no money for this, that's fine. I'll accept your gift. Thank you very much. It will help out. Believe me, it's going to be part of my bench artillery, so to speak. And I will definitely be using it. Now that I got the bench cleared off here more so, I can do something. Yeah, we got, the snow was coming down pretty heavy, and it was very, very cold, but temperature rose up, like, you know, after midnight, temperature went up and up and up. So when I got out there, I swear a snow shovel weighed at least 50 pounds of snow. Unfortunately, we got about 6 inches, but it got packed down to probably about 3. I couldn't do nothing with the driveway. Usually when it's dry and powdery, and it's like 3 or 4 inches, or even 6 inches, a lot of times I'll take the snow shovel and I'll just push it down the driveway. Now we got a gravel driveway with some rock in there, and you know, gullies and stuff like that. It's pretty difficult, you know. It's not a paved driveway. So I usually take the snow shovel and I'll just push down. Well, I couldn't do that at all. The walkways in the back of the house coming to the shed here, I can push about 2 feet, and then it just stopped me in my tracks. So I couldn't even lift the damn shovel, it was so heavy. What I call heart attack snow. And it was bad. So you can't use a snowblower because the auger would literally clog up. And that's all I need to do is break the snowblower or clog it up, you know. That's it, you know. I'd be dead out there. My wife would find me dead out in the driveway with a heart attack. But you can't use a snowblower in that kind of stuff. In the northern part of Connecticut, the northwestern part, yes, there was on the news today, this morning, you see the people using the snowblowers, yes. I come down here on the local road here, and there was a guy using a snowblower on his paved driveway, and the chute, here's the chute right here, the snow was coming out like this. It was just going right down. It was slush. And that's what clogs up the auger and the impeller in there. Really bad. And in our driveway, it's literally water. It's water settled there. So it's one of these types of snows because it rains on. It was raining this morning when I went out at 7 a.m. I got up about 6:45. Washed up quickly, threw my coat on, and I had only my shoes on, and I walked out there, and it's like when I started out, before I did anything with the shovel, it was about 6 inches, 5 or 6 inches. And I couldn't even do my wooden walkway leading into the house unless I shoveled and lift. Like I say, heart attack snow. You had to pick up the shovel. You couldn't even push it. It was so heavy. So, you know, snowblower would not work on those circumstances. The only thing you need is a plow, and unfortunately, the park owner don't plow our driveway. I think it's mainly because we got 2 vehicles there, and the snow plow would need to start. In other words, that driveway would have to be cleared so we can come down where our vehicles are and push it out. But I always have to do my driveway myself, and, you know, I would love to own a tiny little snowblower, plow, with days like this, but, you know, I don't, so, you know. We have to do the best I can with what I can do. And today, as I showed you on this video, it's a slushy mess, and when it freezes up, well, slip and slide and throw 40 pounds of sand on it, and I have to go down to the hardware store and buy some more sand. So, you know, that's just the way it is. And anyhow, so I just want to make this video and let you know that I not only want to thank Steve again for sending me this stuff, and I'm not one that feels comfortable with people sending me things, because I went over this before, you know. Uh-oh, I think the heat is going out. Yeah. I can tell that little sound it makes, so I put it all the way up, try to get the bottle out. So I have to take and move the bottle, get like that, and then the element gets bright orange. I just want to take the chill out. It's warming up out there, you know, obviously everything's slushy. But it got pretty cold last night, and this 350 watt heater, which I keep on 350, I don't turn it on 750 watts. Too much electric to use all night long. So 350 watts keeps the place above freezing. But when I'm in here and it's real cold, I'll run this to get warmed up, because I need my legs and ankles get very cold. They always did, even when I was a little kid. I think it comes from being so skinny. I mean, spindle legs, you know. That's my other channel, by the way, which I never use. So, you know, if I had a lot of meat on my body, I wouldn't feel like this, but this is the way I've always been. And when I was a little kid, and yes, I was a little kid at one time, my feet were always cold in the wintertime, you know. And, of course, we didn't have the best of winter wear when we were growing up. When I was 8 and 10 years old, 12 years old, we didn't, you know, we were poor folk. You know, Bill Anderson, the poor folk? You know, and we had a tough life, you know, but a good life. I mean, I would, if I could go back to the mid-50s again, I would. There were some bad things, bad times, but it was a good time in the world. I heard from Jim Asbell by way of email the other day, and I'm going to turn this heater off now. It's quite warm in here, and he's working on another circuit, but he's got a bad cold and he's fighting that. So, you know, I said no hurry, because Dorkel's not going to go anywhere. Nothing's going to be done right away. So if you're listening, Jim, don't rush on it. I'm figuring if we got anything to do with that, it will be done in the early summer when the weather improves again. And at that time, I may, I don't even know what I did with the, oh, I put it away. The wireless microphone, that thing is definitely not going to be used. And so I'll have plenty of time to get something in the way of a wireless mic, but we're not going to do that until the circuit is perfected. And I may, if Jim comes up with something, like I say, no hurry, Jim, I will work on it on the bench here and see if I could get something going, like using a tape recorder and seeing how it responds, in which case I would bring Dorkel in here and hook that up to Gordo's board and see if I can get that to work. And if it does, I'll be working on that. And I may or may not make videos of that. But that's something I'm gonna hold off on all that right now and concentrate on other things. And one of the biggest things I gotta do is to get that Hallicrafters S86 right here. Now that I got this extension, that chassis could sit right here. I gotta leave it out on the bench because I know what's gonna happen. As soon as I pull it out of there, and has nothing to do with heat at all, I can turn that on right now. It'll be loaded with static. Just as soon as the tubes warm up, it'll be loaded with static. Let me take it out of the case and set it here. It'll play perfectly. I need to have it on the bench for a long time and go through everything. And I did this once before, and it played fine. As soon as I put it in the case, it runs for a few months and then starts up. So it may be one of these things that I might not be able to find out what it is. And in years past, people that work on stuff, especially intermittent stuff, and one time it's playing good, the next time it's not, unless it stays broken, it's almost, in my case, almost never can find the problem. And that's always been with me that way. I've had a television, solid state TV, that I had to pick the brain of a television repairman back in the 80s. It had a beautiful picture, 19-inch color. And one transistor, was a voltage regulator or something, kept going out. I replaced the transistor, it would work again, and it crapped out. I never could find what that was. Never. I picked the brain of television men that used to come in to Aiken's Electronics when I was working there back in the 80s. Actually, I was working there in the 70s, but in the early 80s, I was working for an arcade. I told you that. Boy, my legs are getting cold now that I don't have that heater on. I still knew the fellows that would come in, and every once in a while you'd get a guy that was really helpful and you felt comfortable talking to him and kind of like pick their brain a little. And I never could find out what was going on with that TV and why. It was our daily player. It was a television I had before I met my wife, and it had a beautiful, bright picture. I think it was an Admiral, 19-inch. But that voltage regulated transistor, which was not a very big one, was heat sinked, I think, as I recall. It kept going out, I finally said, to hell with this. I can't deal with this. I junked it. Well, actually, I set it up in the attic. I left it up in the attic with all the other chassis that were up there. And that's the end of it. Like I say, I had a good picture tube in it. So solid state stuff, when it's intermittent, it's almost impossible to fix. Now, of course, this Hallicrafters is vacuum tube. So it's not the tubes, because I've swapped every single tube out of there with it in there. I still say it's silver mica disease. I'm willing to bet my last $1, which is about all I've got on me right now. But I'll bet it. But but I got to get it on the bench, and I got to spend time with it. And what I fear is I get that on the bench, and I'm working on that, and then something else comes into the shop. Well, I haven't heard from Bob in a very, very long time. So I don't think I'll be doing any radio repairs right now. I think it's the time of the year where nothing's going on, and you got to wait for flea market and yard sale time again next year. So, but I feel that if I take that out and put that on the bench, it's going to tie up my bench. Not as much as Uncle Dorkle, but it's still a good-sized piece of equipment to have sitting here, and then having another piece to work on, unless it's a small set. But I got to get it on the bench. So that's, when I do that, I will be making videos of that as I go along. And see if I can, you know, fix whatever the problem is on it. And if it is what I feel is silver mica disease, because it does use those small IF cans, there is nothing I can do about it. Other than replacing the IF can itself. I can do that. I can remove the IF can, unsolder the wires off the lugs, or clip them off, because I do better that way. Take the IF can out and replace it with another 455 KC can. I think there's 3 of them in there, as I recall. It's been so long since I looked in there. But that would be my only hope of solving silver mica disease. I've seen videos on how to do it. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. So I still say it's silver mica disease. But I got to spend a lot of time on that chassis. And that's the way it is with that. So I'm going to end this video. Got this turned off. Let's put this back up here. I think I got... The bottle feels pretty light. This bottle was about half full when I started this up this year. I just started using it yesterday for a short while, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6 bottles left, and it's easier for me to use these bottles. I'm not going to buy a hose and go outside with a 20-pound tank and drill a hole through the wall and risk tripping over the hose and everything else. This is fine. It's only on for, at the very most, maybe 1 hour, hour and a half if I keep it down low, each time I'm in here. And when it's, you know, like 45, 50 degrees outside, which it isn't now, it's probably about 40, it's bearable with the heater going. So it's not used all the time. So this works out good. Well, folks, I'm going to end this long, boring video. I appreciate all my dedicated friends, but you got to understand me and the way I feel, and I can't change at this late year in life. Everybody has their own way of feeling and take things a certain way, and unfortunately I may have 100 good comments, and all it takes is 2 or 3 bad ones, not necessarily sarcastic ones, although I've had those too, to spoil the good. It's an old saying, one bad apple can spoil the bushel. All right, enough. It's 12:15 in the afternoon, and if channel 30 didn't go down again, My wife should be watching a silly soap opera. All right. Take care, everybody. And once again, thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate the early birthday gift. It will definitely help me out in my work here. Definitely. There's no question about it. It's good magnification for my poor eyes. And who knows, it may even be better with my reading glasses on and using this. I find a lot of times magnifiers work even better with reading glasses and then looking through it. We'll see. I haven't tried that yet. Take care, everybody. Whatever it is you do, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Because you may like it today. You may want to do it again tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Keep warm.